and you're listening to the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Now the night out. You're tuning to Wrestle Talk. 657-383-1521. We'll be discussing WWE, NXT, Lucha Underground, ROH, fantasy wrestling, and we'll have some of the best damn interviews for professional and independent wrestling that you've ever heard.
And I'm Joe Lance. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts, keep your arms in the vehicle at all times. Wrestle Talk begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the ride. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? What is up, what is up, what is up, what is up, what is up? Oh my goodness, it is Wednesday night. It is 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central time. That means one thing and one thing only. If you are listening to the sound of my voice, then you have made a wise decision and have decided to listen to the greatest podcast going around today, the Wrestle Talk Podcast with Joe and Rene. And oh my goodness, what a special show we have today. Today is Suplex The World. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, we are going to have a in-studio guest. The one, the only, the Cyclone Suplex Machine, Curt Gannon. We've had this gentleman on the show a couple times before, and oh my goodness, do we have a show today. We got the Hot Spot segment, we got the Shoot and Shout, we got the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge, which I'm going to be nice to Rene, since this is the Christmas episode. Rene, I'm letting you know right now that the theme for tonight's Wrestle Talk Game Show Challenge. Well, let me go ahead and bring in Rene so I can tell him right now. Rene, what is going on right now?
What is up? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Loyal listeners and members of the Wrestle Talk family. Welcome back. Wrestle Talk is back on the air, baby. You know how we do it. We want you guys to be a part of the show tonight. The number is pretty simple. Nightmare. It is 657-383-1521, man. But I'm happy to be here, bro. How you been?
I am doing good. I am in the Christmas spirit, since this is the Christmas episode. This is the last episode before Christmas. So I'm letting you know right now that the topic for the Game Show Podcast Challenge is going to be about Star Wars, since the new Star Wars movie came out.
Bro, you know I don't know nothing about no damn Star Wars, bro. Why you setting me up, Joe? This is garbage.
Hey, everybody knows about Star Wars. I mean, it's simple. I'll ask you a question like, who was the fat guy that Han Solo was frozen by? And you would say...
Big Punisher? No.
Jabba the Hutt.
Who?
Jabba the Hutt. Oh my goodness.
Who?
Oh,
dude, I don't
know.
Bro, see, every single time, bro, you and Luke Roberts, man, always set me up for failure. But you know what? It's all good. I can take a loss. I'm all right with putting guys over, man. I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping at all. Listen, we got a great show in store for these folks today. Joe, why don't you go ahead and lay it out for them?
Like I said, we have the Suplex Cyclone Machine. Curt Gannon is going to be our first ever in-studio guest. So what exactly does that mean? Does that mean he's going to be with us the entire show, or...
What that means...
Does that entire...
Well, that's a great question, Joe. What that means is that in just a few minutes, the Suplex Cyclone is going to walk through that door right here at the Wrestle Talk studio, and he's going to be sitting right beside me. And for pretty much the whole first hour, he is going to join us. He's going to take your questions. He's going to answer questions. He might even ask some questions. He's a Suplex Cyclone, so when he gets in here, he can pretty much do whatever the hell he wants. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, when he's here, he's the boss, because I'm too damn fat to get suplex, bro. I don't need a backy out of me. You understand what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, when the Suplex Cyclone gets here, it's his show. Whatever he wants to talk about, we're going to talk about. But I'm going to tell you one thing, man. I am a little intimidated, but I ain't scared. So we're going to ask him some pretty interesting questions about his time at NWL, his time at New Breed. He's, I think, worked at SICW. The guy has done a lot of different things in his career. We're even going to talk to him about his time training at Kansas City Extreme Wrestling. So when he gets here, you better know we're going to ask him the hard-hitting questions. That's what we do here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, right, Nightmare? Oh, never mind. Oh, Nightmare's screening. Hey, the phone lines are blowing up. People hear Curt Gannon's coming on the show, and guess what? Guess what? The phone lines are going crazy, baby. They're going freaking crazy. Nightmare, I'm ready to do the damn thing, man. We got about an hour and 50 minutes of some hardcore wrestling entertainment to provide to all of you fantastic members of the Wrestle Talk family. Remember, guys, best way for you to engage with us is by calling in. That number is 657-383-1521. On top of our conversation with the Suplex Cyclone, we're going to talk about the situation with Dolph Ziggler, him ditching the United States Championship. We're going to talk about Dean Ambrose's injury and what that means for the recent Shield reunion. We're going to talk about The Rock getting a star on the Walk of Fame, which is huge. And then, of course, man, I would be remiss if we didn't discuss the biggest news in wrestling this week, and that is the news that just broke about the all-women's Royal Rumble going down, baby. January 28th is going to be absolutely insane, and we're going to kick that off by getting into it in our High Spots segment. But before we do, we have a tradition here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, all right? And that tradition is we ask everybody to remove their caps, put their hands over their heart, as we pay homage to the greatest country on God's green earth, and that's America, damn it.
Oh, say, can you see?
Uh-oh.
I'll make up for it now. For the land of the free.
Oh my goodness, it brings a tear to my eye every single time, my friend. Every single time it brings a freaking tear to my eye.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, listen, guys, before we get into High Spots, we're going to cue that music up here in just a second. Want to remind you, if you're listening to us on the replay, please give us a rating. If you're listening on iTunes, if you happen to be listening in any other fashion, make sure you share this broadcast. And if you're here live, tap that screen, Facebook Live, share it, baby. That's all we ever ask from you guys in return, as we do our best to provide you guys with the 2 best hours of wrestling entertainment of your week. That being said, Nightmare Jones, we got a lot to talk about. We're about 5 minutes and counting before the Suplex Cyclone walks in the door, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes and counting, but we're going to go ahead and kick it off tonight with the High Spots segment.
Greetings, Earthlings. We have now taken over your radio.
Hit 'em high, hit 'em high, hit 'em high. If you hit 'em low, hit 'em low, hit 'em low.
Right to the hole. You ain't got no game. I'm breaking you out the frame, coming through like a train.
Woo. Oh my goodness. Do we have a couple things to talk about tonight? Jeez Louise. Okay, so I guess that the first thing we should talk about, Rene, would have to be the Dolph Ziggler ditching the United States title. What do you think that means? Do you think that maybe that means that he's leaving the WWE, or is it an angle that they have decided because of the recent actions of Dolph Ziggler? What are your thoughts, Rene?
Okay, well, let me start off by saying this, guys. I like Dolph Ziggler. Actually, I really like Dolph Ziggler. And I happen to agree with what Dolph Ziggler's sentiments have been as of late. No matter what he does, no matter how hard he works, the guy is underappreciated. Okay? Much like our guest that'll be here in just a minute. I mean, you think about guys that put work in for years and years and years, and for whatever reason, For whatever reason, they don't get their due. And Dolph Ziggler said, you know what? You guys don't want to give me my due. That's fine. I'm going to make sure that you remember me one way or another. And he dropped that United States Championship and walked out and hasn't said a word since. Tons of speculation. Everybody wants to know what the hell's going on. And you want to know what I think is going on, bro? I think Dolph Ziggler is nearing the end of his career and wants to make sure that people remember that he is indeed one of the greatest wrestlers of this recent generation. Whether or not you get caught up in the whirlwind of all the new guys that have been debuting, or you go all the way back to the PG era with John Cena, man, Dolph Ziggler was just as big a part of that as anybody else. And the fact that he hasn't gotten the recognition that he deserves, honestly, is pretty damn embarrassing, Nightmare. What do you think about it?
I would have to agree. Dolph Ziggler has done quite a bit for the WWE in recent years. You know, he's won the Intercontinental Championship, he's won the Tag Team Championship, he's won the United States Championship, he's won the Heavyweight Championship, and he still doesn't get the recognition that he feels that he deserves. I mean, if you think about it, Dolph Ziggler is the guy that when new superstars debut on SmackDown, he's the guy that they put up against as their first feud. He did it with Nakamura. He did it with Bobby Roode. Maybe this isn't work. Maybe it's not. But I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and get a caller on and see what they think. Michael, welcome to the Wrestle Talk podcast. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing good, sir.
That is good. That is good. So my question for you is, what do you think about Dolph Ziggler ditching the United States title?
You know what I think? It's like what you and Rene just said. I think that, his time in WWE has come near the end, So I'm thinking that's probably the reason why he just dropped the title on SmackDown and just walked out. I said, you know what? If he's not going to get the recognition that he rightfully deserves after all the years of hard work that he's put in for the WWE, I say just go for it. Just drop the title in the middle of the ring and just walk out. And that's what I think.
Well, hey, we appreciate that input.
Absolutely.
Hey, Michael, great insight there from a guy that is absolutely a huge wrestling fan. We're going to go ahead and throw him back on hold because I just got a message, Nightmare Jones, and it looks like we're about to pick up the intensity here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Joining us in studio for the very first time is a man that is currently traveling around the world, suplexing anybody who gets in his way. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the studio for the very first time, the Suplex Cyclone Curt Gannon. Yo, Curt. What's up, family?
How you doing,
Good to see you, bro. Come on in. Slide on in here, player. Let's get you some, there we go. Let's get you some screen space here. Nightmare, the Suplex Cyclone is in the building.
Sir.
Say hello. Say hello.
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
What is up, Suplex Cyclone? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm here, man. I'm here.
No doubt. We are here. We are
That is definitely...
Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that is definitely good. We are more than happy to have you here with us. I'm telling you, talking to the Suplex Cyclone is one thing, but when you see him and you see the size of his arms and you just envision what it's like to be put in the Suplex Cyclone, and it's a scary situation.
No doubt about it, man. Look at this, man. The Facebook Live is going crazy right now. And we got Curt Gannon here with us for the next 45 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So do us a huge favor. Share the broadcast. Excuse me. Call in with your questions. That's what this man is here for. Representing KC Mo Strong Style to the fellas. And also representing, let me take a look at your shirt here, man.
There's collar and elbow.
That's
man.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, let's start there, Curt. I know the phone lines are starting to fill up here. We've got people all over Facebook Live, man. So let's start with that. Mm-hmm. So the last couple of months, man, the collar and elbow brand has really made a stamp in professional wrestling, but a lot of people still don't understand it. I know Al Snow did a pretty good job. He put out a few videos explaining what it was all about. It's kind of a way of giving wrestlers such as yourself another avenue to make revenue on top of just working your ass off inside the square circle. But as a guy that's actually a part of the brand, can you fill us in a little bit more on what it's all about?
Yeah, so basically it is kind of a sponsorship and everything for the wrestlers. Just like you said, kind of make a little extra money. The whole idea is the wrestlers that he picks up, we kind of advertise basically his brand, and we have our own little promo or promo codes. So you can go online, you can order some stuff and save some money, get some cool things. So it's like you said, it's basically something that kind of really help the wrestlers and give back to the wrestlers. Something really cool with the fans too. So it's like being a part of something, like a family. So that's probably the best way to describe it.
Best way to describe it?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And obviously being associated with a guy like Al, who is most known for his crazy gimmick during the Attitude Era with Head and all that. But what a lot of people don't know is that he also runs a training center and is one of the most respected trainers in professional wrestling today. Have you actually had yet the opportunity to meet Al? And if you haven't, are you trying to make your way down there to spend some time at his place?
Yeah, I would actually love to go. It's actually over in Europe where he's got his training.
In Europe?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you really want to go there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I want to go to Europe, bro.
Yeah, I would love to go out there and do some training. Definitely be somewhere I would love to go. I mean, Europe is really big for wrestling, obviously. If you haven't kept up on the European scene, definitely look into it. It's pretty intense.
Pete Dunne, dude, that's my boy. I like Pete, man.
Like even Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett's got a promotion now.
Does he?
Yeah, out in the Europe area. So, European wrestling is really, it's always been there, but I think it's gotten more mainstream than what it used to be.
Dude, it is. I mean, when you talk about guys like Sheamus, and you talk about guys like Finn Balor of the newer, I guess, generation, though he's not necessarily a young guy, it's continuing to evolve, and I think it's really a treat. When you stop and think about how wrestling is exploding, not just here in the States, but all over the world. And right before you came on, we were talking about Dolph, right, in the United States Championship and everything like that. And you know what it reminded me of, and actually I'm not going to take credit for it, is actually our boy Brandon, right, Julius Cairo. He said something about Ziggler kind of pulling the same angle that Naito did, where he basically won it and he just was like, this doesn't mean anything to me. It's not of any value to me. And then obviously he left, went to CMLL, and now he's come back and he's going to be main eventing Wrestle Kingdom 12. So let me ask you, I know you're still a fan. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on like what Dolph did and like what Naito did as far as disrespecting the belt? Is it worth doing to get the angle over, or are you one of those old school guys that's like, yo, you should never defame the title like that?
Well, I mean, in Dolph's case, I feel like Dolph hasn't been used right, in my opinion, at all. And he's one of the best workers that they've got on the roster. And I feel like they've tried different angles, but they always just drop it on him. So it might be, I think, honestly, this is probably a better route to go with Dolph Ziggler. I think it'll help catapult him back up to the main event scene that we haven't seen in a while. So I think that's great, and I think it's great storytelling. Great.
Well, we're talking about it, aren't we?
Yeah.
It worked, folks. We're talking about it on the Wrestle Talk podcast. That absolutely makes a huge difference when a day later, instead of talking about some other stuff that we could be potentially discussing, What are we talking about? We're talking about Dolph Ziggler dropping the United States Championship. Let me tell you something, Joe. It's pretty exciting. I mean, I'm sitting here next to the Suplex Cyclone. I'm kind of trying to make a little room here, but this dude's freaking pythons, bro. I got no damn room, so I'm just kind of over here huddled over in the corner. You know what? I wanted to actually switch gears here real quick while we're still in the High Spot segment and talk a little bit about The Rock, right? Jumanji, he's got another movie coming out with Kevin Hart. He got his star on the Walk of Fame. So, Joe, I'm curious, as much crap as people seem to want to talk on pro wrestling, see Mia Khalifa, our conversation from last week. I knew I was going to get a laugh at her for that one. At the same time, there's a whole nother wave following the negativity that says, hey, wrestlers are true blue entertainers. Not only do you have The Rock, but then you also have John Cena doing animated movies. So I guess let me start off with you, Joe. What do you think this means for the future of wrestling? I mean, if these guys are already going mainstream like that, where are we going to be in 10 years, man?
Oh, man, it would not surprise me if you saw more wrestlers doing movies. And the reason why is because a lot of people don't understand, to be a professional wrestler, you have to be some sort of an actor. You have to make the fans believe that you're injured. You have to make the fans believe that you absolutely hate their guts. And that kind of stuff transitions into being an actor. And that's why you see so many wrestlers that are really, really good at acting, because that's pretty much what they do when they're wrestling, except for they don't use stunt doubles when they do their moves. They're actually doing the moves in the wrestling ring. And I'll say it again, anybody that thinks that wrestling is just choreographed and completely fake, get into the ring, take a Suplex Cyclone by Curt Gannon, and I guarantee you will never say wrestling is fake again.
Hey, you know what? And I'm going to go ahead and take your word for it, because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it, bro. I'll tell you, I already got enough back issues, man. No doubt about it. Well, we do actually have a question that just came in, and we're going to continue on our topic here. But one of our wonderful sponsors, our friend over at the Conspiracy Farm with Jay Hollywood, Jeff Wilson, and Pat Miletich, UFC Hall of Famer, asked a pretty...
Hey, Hollywood?
What? Oh, dear goodness. There's always somebody interrupting the damn show. Live radio, ain't that a bitch? Anyway, here's the question. Is kayfabe dead?
Well, I mean...
There we go. That's a loaded one, huh? You're like,
Yeah.
You spent all show on this one.
In this day and age with social media and stuff, I can't say it is, but I can't say it isn't. Because, I mean, perfect example, look at Kevin Owens. The guy is brutal on Twitter all the time.
I love it.
I mean, so you can't really say kayfabe is dead. And like I said, it's really hard to say, because I feel like with wrestling nowadays, with social media and everything, it's really 50-50, because you can find so much stuff on social media about how a guy is, you know, outside the ring and everything. And yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of wrestlers that still try to keep it alive. You know, hopes.
You hope, right? That it's not. I heard somebody say this, and I don't know where I saw it, but I thought it was like, it doesn't necessarily answer Jay Hollywood's question, but I think it's a point that needs to be made. For us, old guys, the suspension of disbelief is not necessarily gone, but it's different. I don't expect to see wrestling the same way as I did when I was 14 years old. That's why I think a lot of people are mistaken when they say, man, there'll never be another golden era. Man, there'll never be an attitude era. Well, part of it was because the talent back then was so absolutely incredible. But at the same time, how the hell did we know? We were 14 years old. We didn't know anything about wrestling. So whatever they were doing to us was like the greatest thing that had ever been done. There are kids that are now that age or younger that are seeing the product today. And to them, the Usos are the greatest tag team that they've ever seen. It's their version of LOD, you know? So who am I to say to anyone, wrestling today is not as good as it was yesterday? It's all in the eyes of the beholder. And going back to kind of where I started with what I heard someone say, it's like, okay, you're going at a show, you're going to do what you do, you're going to say what you say, and, you know, you paid your money, so you have the right to do that. But if there's a kid in front of you All right, some 10-year-old kid in front of you with his mom. He's at his first wrestling show. Try not to be that asshole that's like, oh, did you see that botch? Boo! Or, hey, you know she's really married to such and such person in real life? Like, dude, that kid, in his life, kayfabe is alive and well. So are you going to be that asshole that's going to be the one that ruins it for him? I mean, I can tell you from personal experience, I had to basically at an early age tell my kids what I knew, or at least what I believed about Santa Claus, okay? And it was to this day, it's challenging for me to deal with that because you're taking a bit of innocence away from the young fan. So whether you think it's dead or not, just remember it's all in the eyes of the beholder. And for a 10-year-old kid, to him, that's as real as rain. And so you have the ability to keep it going for the people of that age demographic, even if it's already kind of been, if the curtain's been peeled back for you already, okay, let somebody else enjoy it the way you did as a kid. Because I'm sure whoever introduced you to wrestling, they didn't immediately start telling you about the dirt sheets. You know, they didn't immediately start telling you, hey, you know, such and such person has a really bad drug addiction. I'm like, dude, I don't care. I'm a fan of the guy. Like, I don't want to know that part of wrestling as a kid. So as far as I'm concerned, no, kayfabe is not dead, but it is our responsibility to keep it alive for the next generation so that they can enjoy wrestling the same way we did when we were little kids. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds
Let me
great.
get off my soapbox real quick.
Something I did see, just Jeffrey Wilson was saying that he was asking about the indie scene shows, guys acting at those shows. I don't know what indie scene shows you go to, but I can give you a perfect example, like Superstar Steve Fender.
Yeah.
When he goes out,
I hate that guy.
When he goes out during intermission, yeah, he wants to sell some stuff, but he isn't always the nicest about it.
He's never nice to me.
No, he is not. He's not the nicest guy. Like, you know, there's still quite a few of those guys. I mean, they still go out there, especially the old school guys like Steve. Just like I said, he'll go out there, and kayfabe is still very much alive.
I'll give you an example of a guy that we both know. Excuse me. Some good beer. The Dynamite, Derek Stone. A guy that you spent some time with. I've seen him in action over the last couple of years, and to a certain extent, he's been cordial to me. But at the same time, depending on where he is, you know, kind of where his character is going, that's how he'll treat me. If he's in and I've seen this very few times, if he's in the scenario where he's a fan favorite, then he does his job. And he goes out, shakes hands, kisses babies. But if he's in the situation where he's not a fan favorite and he's what I guess we would call a heel, okay, talking about breaking kayfabe, then he won't shake anyone's hands. And he looks at you right in your eye and he walks right past you and doesn't say anything. So, Joe, you know, I think Jay Hollywood brings a great topic to the table, which we hadn't even thought about discussing. But you've been a referee, you've been in the wrestling business for many years, and you've been doing the show for well over 5, man. So I guess let me ask you the same question, bro. Is kayfabe dead?
I don't think that it's dead, but for me, it's not as big as what it used to be. Like, you know, I remember watching wrestling in the late '80s, early '90s. You know, you didn't have the internet, so you didn't know what was going on. You know, the wrestlers they kept the kayfabe going, and there are some wrestlers that still do that. Like, for instance, the man known as Jack Foster. When I met him at Dynamo Pro, you know, he was a heel, and he was, you know, an asshole. I walked up to him, and I was like, "How you doing? I'm Joe," and he just looked at me. Didn't say hi, didn't say nothing. He just looked at me.
Joe was so
but
mad,
then
bro.
I met him but then
Joe, Joe, wait. Sorry to cut. I want you to finish your story, but I remember you walking back to where we were sitting, and I swear, Kurt, he's like, does this dude even know that I flew all the way from West Virginia to see him wrestle? I'm like, dude, I don't think he gives a shit. Joe was mad as hell, bro.
But then I met, the last time I went to Kansas, we went to NWL show, and then I saw him, and I walked up to him, and he was as nice as could be. It was like a complete 100 is like a complete 360 degree turn. So there are some wrestlers that still keep the kayfabe alive.
No doubt, no doubt. And like I said, man, let's go ahead and keep it alive for the next generation, guys. I mean, that's really what it's all about. We enjoy the sport for what it is. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but for those young fans that are out there looking to get into it, let's make sure that they experience it the same way we did. I mean, I reminisce back to a day where, man, I would hear that glass, bro, break, and like I literally would get chills. Like literally, I was that much of a Stone Cold fan, and I want my kids to experience that, and that's why I take them to shows. And when we were, I've taken my son to shows all over the place. We've been to Harley's, we've been to NWL, we've been to KCXW, and I'm always like, hey son, that's the bad guy. When he comes out, you boo him. And I said, you boo the hell out of him because he's done this and he's done that and done this to that guy and this and the other thing. So it's always really, really important to keep in mind who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. But sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to tell the difference because some guys are so charismatic, you want to cheer for them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they need to do a good job of presenting themselves in the light that they want to be seen. Okay. So that's the responsibility that lies on the wrestlers. The fans can only do so much. Guys, if you don't want people to, shit on your gimmick, then have a good one. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it believable. Make me believe that you really are a biker. Make me believe that you really are going to suplex me if you get pissed off. Like I said, I'm sitting right next to this guy. I'm trying to stay on his good side because I'm not trying. Look, I got a big wood table here in front of me, but I'm not trying to get suplexed through it. You get what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. Self-preservation. I'm trying to stay alive tonight. It's believable because it's true, damn it. This dude, I swear, no joke. Well, listen, Joe, I want to go ahead and transition to a couple of questions that I'm seeing here. We got our buddy Neil. Neil, please let us know where you're checking in from. But he's asking a pretty straightforward question. You've been in mixed martial arts for many, many years. When you got into the wrestling business, one of the first promotions that you started working with and training at was our friends over at KCXW and the Extreme Wrestling Center. It's been a while since you've been there, but of course, as Neil is asking, can you talk to us about your experience with those guys, being one of the few promotions based out of Kansas City, your hometown?
Obviously, they're who I started with. David Catton is the lead trainer there at the show, and basically. When I was 18, he's the guy that got me into it all. Trained with him for quite a while, all the way up until they started XWC, and which is the school for KCXW. Let's see, it's been a couple years now, I think, since I left there.
3, maybe?
Yeah, maybe
something like that.
2 or 3, something like that. My experience wasn't bad there. I think just like any promotion, you always kind of butt heads a little bit with, the powers to be.
The brass, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't say that I had a real bad experience. It's, it was one of those things. It was a departure on the fact that I wanted to keep expanding my name. And they were wanting guys to commit more, and it wasn't that I had a problem with it or was trying to do anything, against them or anything. It's just I wanted to keep moving around. I wanted to keep going to other shows, keep getting my name out there more. I'm a very strong believer that in pro wrestling, you gotta keep expanding. You gotta keep traveling, keep moving, keep learning, learn as much as you possibly can. So I, no problem, no ill will towards them. Like I said, I nothing bad, and and I wish them the best. They're over at KCXW, and and hope they keep expanding and getting bigger. So.
Well, you know what, they will. You know why? Because yours truly is now commentating and re-announcing for Kansas City Extreme Wrestling. And I'll say this. I mean, being a guy that's been in business to a certain capacity for over 10 years, you don't necessarily have to dislike someone to not share their vision. You know what I mean? So if you and I are in a business together, you may have an idea of how to grow your business or the business, and I may have a different idea. And that doesn't mean either one of these ideas is wrong, but they just don't always necessarily have to be parallel to each other. Sometimes, there's more than one way to the finish line, so to speak.
Yeah.
So if you as an independent contractor, which is what you are as a professional wrestler, feel like, hey, I want to be committed to here, but I don't want to be committed just to here, then I think you have every right in the world to do that, as long as the partnership, or at least the friendship, it stays on the up and up, so to speak.
Yeah.
As long as you're not doing anything to defamate me, I'm not going to do anything to defamate you. We may not be able to work together now, but maybe sometime in the future. Let WWE serve an example. I mean, you would have never thought the Warrior would have made his way back there. You would have never thought Alundra Blaze would have made her way back there. You would have never thought Hogan would have made his way back there, but they all ended up going back, and that's because cooler heads must prevail, especially in business, because one thing you don't want to do, Kurt, is burn bridges.
Oh, yeah.
You never, ever want to burn any bridges. So I want to ask you something. While you were training there, you got to train alongside two brothers. Two very talented brothers by the name of the Royal Blood. I know you know those guys. You get along pretty well with them. And can you talk to us a little bit about them? Because they've also been very, very good to us, and they've been very appreciated as members of the Wrestle Talk family. What do you think about those guys on a whole?
Jax and Jet are great guys. I like both of them. They're both good dudes. For the longest, it's kind of funny. For the longest time, I could not tell the difference.
One's taller.
I couldn't figure out the difference.
One's taller, bro.
Yeah, and I started figuring out like one's just a little bit shorter than the other.
And we're not going to say who.
Yeah. We don't say. I don't want to make anybody.
I don't want to piss those guys off either.
I don't want to upset.
You're big, but there's two of them.
I don't want to upset them.
Right.
I'll feel bad.
Yeah.
But no, I like Jet, Jax Royal. They're good guys, and another thing is like their attitudes. Their attitudes are, they're both good dudes, but there's one's just a little more edgier than the other.
Yeah. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with those guys after hours. Let me tell you something. There's definitely one that's a little bit more hyped than the other. Just leave that there. I actually ran into those guys. We were at the RVD comedy show. Mm-hmm. We had a couple of drinks, had a great time. So yeah, and I know what you're talking about, bro. I know what you're talking about. So anyway, and back to kind of what we were talking about, like we had, you familiar with Todd Letterman, right? Like KLD?
Yeah.
That guy, right? So he was on the show, and he talked about kind of how his relationship with NWO kind of ended. And he said, look, nothing against those guys, love those guys. Most of the guys in the locker room were still my friends. But, I wasn't okay with working once every 2 weeks. Yeah. And even if it was just once a week, like that's not what I was looking for. And since he was like a full-time guy, he was like, look, I need to be able to kind of expand on what I'm doing. And he I guess, and I hope I'm not putting words in his mouth, I think he felt a little caged in, even though he appreciated where he was and the fact that he was being taken care of while he was there. But at the same time, I mean, like, there comes a point where you have to make a decision, and really you're kind of taking a dive. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like with your decision to leave KCSW, you basically were like, okay, now what? And you had to go figure out and look for some new opportunities, and you did just that. Tell us a little bit about what happened once you left KCSW and how you maybe ended up where you were recently. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, one of the big things is what kind of like triggered me to leave like KCSW is I really wanted to keep learning. I wanted to keep advancing, and I felt like.
Which, by the way, cheap plug. Extreme Wrestling Center, Raytown, Missouri. Check those guys out. David Catton, Jude, Derek Stone down there now, man. Some of the best and most talented trainers that I've ever seen. I'm new at this, but those guys are absolutely tremendous. But continue on.
Yeah, I felt like at that time that I kind of like hit my peak there. So I'm like, well, what kind of really triggered that is I actually went out to North Carolina and trained with Sammy Callahan.
Oh, dude, the Death Machine, baby!
Yeah,
love Sammy.
So basically, after that, I'm like, man, I got to keep learning. So here's the next step. I'm going to go to Trevor Murdoch's school at KC Pro. Went to Trevor's school.
Derek McQuinn and Trevor Murdoch, former two-time WWE Tag Team Champion, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and with going out there, that was a whole new experience. First day, man, Trevor beat the hell out of me.
Isn't that par for the course in wrestling?
Yeah,
they're like, come on in, we're going to charge you $50 and we're going to beat the crap out of you, buddy.
It was something else, man. Like, I always joke about it all the time because Trevor used to tell me, or was telling me that day, he's like, man, he goes, my job is to, see if you have the heart. And he goes, I'm going to break you. He goes, I'm going to try to break you. And man, he came pretty close to it. I was hurt for like a couple weeks.
Let me ask you, did he sound anything like this? Curt Gannon, I break your back, make you humble.
I felt.
Oh, never mind. That's the Iron Sheik. Never mind.
I felt like it. So, but it was great training out there with Trevor and Derek. Learned a lot from Trevor.
How long were you there? Because they had a place out in Lenexa, right?
Yeah. Okay. It was probably about maybe 6-7 months, I want to say.
Hey, look who decided to pop in. What up, franchise? What's up? You address that however you will. Go ahead.
So you want to face me, Buck?
It's franchise. Leave that man alone.
Well, he's so Brandon.
Well, I mean, I guess you're right. That is the full name, right? He was a great guest on the show, by the way. I really enjoyed having him on.
He's been wanting to match with me. Like,
I don't know. I mean,
if he wants it,
anybody, hey, book it, baby. What's up? Oh, come on, man. Hey, Rashid, aren't you too busy paying for supermodels to hang out with you to be watching the Wrestle Talk podcast tonight? I mean, I know you're big dollars, bro. I be watching your dollar store shirts at the NWL shows. Don't come at me with that bullshit.
Rashid Ali, like I'm gonna have to meet up with him. We're gonna have a street fight. At, like,
I don't think you can afford to be in the part of town where he lives,
dude.
He lives in a gated community.
I'll meet him at the thrift store where he gets his shirt.
Oh, jeez Louise. Poor Rashid Ali, man. Hey, he put in some work up in St. Joe, bro. I gotta tell you, him and Niles Planquet did a pretty outstanding job of getting their asses whooped by the best season in the world. Hey, Joey, man, we got wrestlers, man, popping up. What'd you say, bro? What's up, Joe?
It's Plunk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's Plunk.
It's Plunk.
Not Plunk.
Oh,
it's Plunk. And we do have a couple callers.
Oh, shoot, man. I'm sorry, bro. Hey, Joe, hey, man, you're the boss, bro. You go ahead and put them on whenever you're ready, man. Tell us who it is.
Awesome. All right, so the first caller we have is somebody that was actually talking to us a little bit earlier. That is our good buddy from the Conspiracy Forum, Jay Hollywood. What's going on, sir?
Oh, yeah. What's up, gentlemen? How we doing this evening?
Hey, doing great, Jay Hollywood, but we actually have intro music for you. Are you ready for this?
Oh, snaps.
You ready? Here we go.
Right.
It's Rusev Day.
Rusev All right, we got to give one of our wonderful sponsors over at the Conspiracy Farm a proper intro, bro. Welcome to the show. What's up, Jay Hollywood?
Man, what's up, man? I hope all of the holiday season is finding everyone feeling quite fantastic, especially you, Rene, especially our guest tonight, Mr. Joe. How you doing, my man, Nightmare? Dude, just to harken back to what we were talking about kayfabe, and you raised such a great point about kayfabe. I'm old school, dude. Like, I remember hearing about the guys. It's just the lengths that they would go to keep the kayfabe alive. But you guys alluded to something, and there's a new type of kayfabe that it still can exist without it being so Mr. Wrestling 2 type kayfabe, Johnny Valentine type kayfabe, and I absolutely feel that. Something else I even wrote stuff down, man. You guys even have me taking notes tonight. You guys are killing it, man. Cody Rhodes. What do you guys think about Cody Rhodes as far as things so, granted he's Cody Rhodes with the name of Dusty Rhodes, et cetera, the lineage of being a Rhodes, but he's gone on to do such great things outside of the WWE. Many have tried it, Ryback, et cetera, et cetera. Do you have to only just be in the WWE to succeed? I say that rhetorically.
Not anymore.
You don't have to be. So, yeah, no, absolutely, man. And you guys are really alluding to a lot of that stuff tonight. Rene, I'm sorry, man. Congratulations on your position. The thing you got recently with linking up with, I forget who the promotion it was. You said you were. You guys are so super talented. I told you this ages ago, brother. That's why I linked up with you, man. Excuse me. You guys got a lot of stuff going on. 2018 is going to be your bitch. I hate to say it. But, yeah.
Love it. Well, you know what, Jay Hollywood, man? I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, bro. you're a big fan. You have been a fan for a very, very long time. Man, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have been a pretty busy guy. I mean, you've interviewed Ricky Morton. You've interviewed Manny, the Raging Bull Fernandez. And you're getting ready to interview a man that I wouldn't want to run into in the ring or maybe in a back alley anywhere. I'm talking about Freeway Ricky Ross. So what the hell is going on over at Me Speaking to You, man?
Well, that's just another incarnation of what I do, man. Many stakes in the fire, man. And Freeway Ricky Ross, this will be the second conversation we're going to have. I mean, if you haven't seen Kill the Messenger with Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye in the Avenger film,
Oh, yeah, he does.
You know, it's essentially a little encapsulation of how the CIA and the U.S. government was involved heavily in the drug trade. Let's just say that.
Wait. Did you say were involved or are involved?
Well, you know, I just say that as it relates to him. If you look at Conspiracy Farm, you realize this is an ongoing operation. But as it relates to Rick, his stuff has been retired for a while now. But it was definitely interesting how he wound up getting linked up. And honestly, quite frankly, if you get into, once we talk about it, his finance went into financing Death Row Records, and we all know who that is. So it's going to be an interesting conversation.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because I have it on pretty good authority that El Chapo is watching the Wrestle Talk podcast right now. I'm telling you right now. Somebody just messaged me. He's watching it. Well, let me ask you this one last question, Jay Hollywood, because we got a couple of callers, other callers on the line. I got a guy sitting next to me, the Suplex Cyclone Curt Gannon. You've been in the business for a long time, man. I know you've yet to see him in action, but my question is, man, what is a guy that has the look, that has the in-ring talent, from your perspective, from a fan's perspective, for so many years, have to do to make sure that he resonates not only with the fans that he's already has, but to also work on maybe capturing the attention of some new fans?
Well, as an individual, as a person who's not seeing him, and I'm literally like watching him on your Facebook Live, he does have a fantastic look. The dude seems a little yoked. Seems like he's got his trap game going on. That trap.
No, bro, that's me. You're confusing us. That's me. You're not really.
Burden tonight for some reason. No, truthfully, man. I mean, honestly, listening to him, he understands the game like anything, man. Like if it's a Wrestle Talk podcast, if it's me speaking to you, the Conspiracy Farm, this gentleman's game, it's all about building your brand. And honestly, what we need to get more confident about, ladies and gentlemen, is not trying to be the next WWE, whatever, but being the first Wrestle Talk podcast, being the first gentleman, this right here, being the first, it's me speaking to you. That's what I'm saying. The cat's out of the bag. We now realize we don't need these certain entities to get to the next level. We just have to have more faith in ourselves. And I tell you what, wrestler Rene, I've told you this from the beginning, brother. You got skills. Joe, Nightmare, you guys are bringing the pain. Keep doing what you're doing. And this gentleman, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Curt Gannon, keep doing what you're doing. I may not be super familiar with your works, but I mean, I'm listening to you, and you guys literally, man, put a light bulb over my head when we start talking about kayfabe, because it was like there is a new type of kayfabe. You know what I mean? You can still do it. There's a reason why people pay millions of dollars to go in to see fake dinosaurs, chase after them in Jurassic Park or whatever. It's the ability to suspend disbelief. And, we just got to keep doing it, man. And support each other, man. Wrestle Talkcast, I'm telling you, these guys are killing it, dude. I can't say it enough, man. You're almost like a kid of mine. I'm so proud of you guys, and I really, really am.
No doubt. Definitely see you as a mentor, sir. And definitely a friend. We appreciate it. We love to hear that you're back in the STL, man. And before too long, you're going to be seeing this man in the ring over in the STL. And we're going to make sure that we make our way out there to see him do his work in your neck of the woods. And otherwise, I think what you're saying is quit biting.
To holler at me, I could point this man in the right direction. I need to get my manager skills on. I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines in the professional wrestling business. NWL, I realize you had your vision that you were trying to do, but I'm telling you, you don't get much better than the kid right here. So, as far as being outside of the ring, I can steer you in the right direction.
No doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Hollywood of the Conspiracy Farm, and it's me speaking to you. Basically what Jay Hollywood is saying, stop biting and start fighting. I think that's what he was saying, right?
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Pretty much. Nightmare Jones, man, I don't know what you're doing tonight, man, but these phone lines are absolutely off the chain. We may skip the damn break altogether tonight. I don't know, because we got to take advantage of every minute we have with the Suplex Cyclone, because he's getting ready to jump back on the plane and continue suplexing the world. Who do we got up next, man?
Next we have Monica. Welcome to the Wrestle Talk podcast. What do you got for Curt Gannon?
Hey, yeah.
What wrestler in the WWE do you look up to?
Oh, hey, Monica, real quick, where are you calling in from?
Independence, Missouri.
Independence, Missouri. Awesome. And are you still in school, Monica?
Yeah.
Awesome. What grade are you in?
7th.
7th grade. The young fans coming out for the Suplex Cyclone. I'm sorry, Monica. Continue with your question. I just wanted to say hello. I think my question was who in the WWE do you look up to? Yeah, go ahead, Monica. Repeat your question.
It's Micah, but who in the WWE do you look up to?
Let's see. Probably, if we're talking about current roster, I'd probably say Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's the man. Like he's a bad dude, and I've been following him for a long time, way before WWE. Like
legit, that dude will whoop your ass. Legit, not you, but I mean like in general.
He's the one guy that I would always want to.
Freaking Josh, talking shit.
Thanks, Josh. He's the one guy that I would love to have a dream match with one day. That's my dream match. Like if anybody that's still left in the WWE, that'd be awesome. That'd be a dream come true for me. So
my question: what is it about a guy like Samoa Joe that you respect so much? Is it maybe because he also shares that MMA mixed martial arts background that you do, or what is it in particular?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that, no matter what he does, he's super confident. Like, and you've got guys that, they obviously you're supposed to be confident, but his is just 110%. Like, he goes in there and he knows he's going to whip ass. Like, and the dude across the ring from him, he knows he's going to kick that guy's ass.
He does.
And he's just a badass, man. Like, it's plain and simple.
Now, Joe, you had said something to me a while back. I don't even know if you remember saying this, but you said to me in a private conversation, Samoa Joe is the most credible competitor that has yet to step up to Brock Lesnar. And you know what? I wholeheartedly agree.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you look at it from a street fighting, maybe legit fighting perspective, you go, who in the WWE could actually give Brock Lesnar a fight for his money?
Oh, yeah.
One of the guys on that list has got to be Samoa Joe. Joe, do you care to elaborate on that a little bit? Because I thought you made a great point a while back when we were having that conversation. I think it was during the whole Goldberg-Brock Lesnar thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think that that Samoa Joe would be the best competitor to go up against Brock Lesnar because they both have that smash mouth style. Samoa Joe, he's got a different style from everybody else. Like he's a strong wrestler, and he's got his kicks, he's got his punches, and there's so much that he can do that you've never even seen yet in the WWE. Like, if you've seen his moveset in other wrestling companies, and then you've seen his movesets in the WWE, you know that they're kind of holding them back a little bit.
Dude, no doubt about it, Nightmare. And I want to remind everybody that Samoa Joe made his bones many, many years before surviving or arriving in the WWE. I mean, he did his stuff all throughout the U.S. He made his, he's worked Mexico, he's worked Canada, he's worked Europe. definitely worked Japan. He's been all over the world. And in some aspects, the Wrestle Talk podcast shares that in common. We are now, believe it or not, I don't think you even know this, 27 different countries have heard the Wrestle Talk podcast, man. And of those 27, 8 of them are actually in Europe.
Nice.
So they may be listening to the Suplex Cyclone. You said you wanted to go to Europe, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
So, hey, this is the place to be if you're trying to get booked over in Europe. I'm telling you right now. Big shout out to the guys that handle the analytics. Shout out to Painter's Dream Productions who make our website possible. Brand new website dropping in 2018. Micah, I know you're still there. Do you have another question for the Suplex Cyclone Curt Gannon? Micah, are you still there with us? Can you hear me? Looks like we lost Micah. Oh, all right. Well, hey, but thank you for calling in. We definitely appreciate it. I'd love to hear some of the young fans on the line with us. There's a couple of folks that popped in here that you recognize. If you want to address them or maybe say hello, it'd be a good time to do that.
Yeah, I just saw Joseph popped in. That's what I was waving at, saying, "Hey, what's up, man?" Let's see who else we got.
Right. So
What, Joe? What'd you say?
We do have one final caller, and this one's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of fun because, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about this gentleman just a couple minutes ago. We have the franchise Brandon Buck on the line right now.
Well, hey, I will say this. This won't be our final caller of the segment because we got to get Michael back on. He's been on hold since the beginning wanting to talk to the Suplex Cyclone. So, Michael, don't you go anywhere. We're going to get you back on the line. That's for sure. But, yes, indeed, we do have the franchise on the line right now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Brandon, the franchise Buck, the greatest of all time, the best world in the world. But more importantly, I am talking to Curt Gannon right now. So you want to try and make a name for yourself, son. You want to try and go to the NWL. You want to try and go to the Indie League. You want to try and do the minor league baseball, if you will, when it comes to professional wrestling. Well, son, let me write you a story. You might have taken on some big names. You might be teasing that with ICW, you want to take on a bit on March 14th in Pittsburgh, America, my town. But unfortunately,
it's Pittsburgh, Kansas.
These aren't big superstars.
Not Pittsburgh, America.
Looking at the franchise, and boy, howdy, it does not look good. Tattooed on my forearm because I make a name for myself, boy.
Oh, dear gosh. You know, Brandon, you came on the show a couple of weeks ago. You were a fantastic guest. But why take the time? We know you're busy. You probably should be in the gym. But instead, you're here harassing our guest, Curt Gannon. What is your problem with Curt Gannon?
My problem with Curt Gannon is he's too much of a superstar to have that ego on his shoulders. That he needs to realize true talent. I don't need to be at the gym every day. I don't need to be working out every day because of the fact I know exactly how good I am. So if Curt Gannon wants to step on by with a true superstar,
I thought only your mom was
he's got his name on by.
Wow. Now, you do know that only his mom is allowed to call him Curtis, right?
Yeah, well,
oh, I'm aware. He can call me Daddy if he wants to.
Oh, dear goodness. Dear goodness. Somebody, you know what? You know what really drives me nuts? When guys call in and want to trash our guests. Brandon Buck, you were a great guest, but you know what that is, my friend? You want to know what that is?
Fucking bullshit!
Dear goodness. Curt, we know you're very busy, but do you care to address the franchise, Brandon Buck?
Sure, I'll humor him. So we got the show coming up in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and I actually, which you kind of already let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to possibly be going up against Abyss.
Damn.
So, and it might be a Monsters Ball. Don't know yet. Like,
oh shit!
Waiting for the
official word.
Yeah, official word. But after that's said and done, I mean, if you want to get suplexed and choked out, I can do that for you, Brandon Buck.
Wow. Now, correct me if I'm not wrong, but you guys were recently on a show. It was the GWF show. Mm-hmm. And one guy started the show, and the other guy finished the show. So, what does that mean?
That means he's just not on my level, I guess.
Ah, damn. What did you say? Can you say that one more time?
That he's not on my level?
Got him! Got him!
Well, let's let Brandon Buck say his piece before he gets out of here. Brandon, you're back on. What's up, man?
I will tell you this. Gannon is a phenomenal athlete, and anybody who does not see that joke's on them, because he has a lot to give to federations. He's got a lot to give to the fans, more importantly, and I respect the hell out of him. But here's the thing. What I learned in amateur wrestling when I was back in high school, you don't get better taking on generic jabronis. You have to go on by to the varsity and get your ass whipped and be beaten up to a government mule and earn your respect, and earn your name, and earn your talent. And looking at Curt, I'll tell you this, Rene, and I told you this back on my podcast. I'm going to tell you this on his podcast. This dude deserves to have his name spread everywhere. He deserves it. He's earned his spot. He's been in the business long enough that if people don't respect him because of the fact that he decided to take a day off and do what was right for him, and people are giving him heat, they can go fuck themselves. Because of the fact, I'm going to tell you this right now, and I don't care if I get heat in Kansas City. I don't care if I get heat in Oklahoma. I don't care if I get heat, period. I'm bringing the franchise buck. I'll do what I want, say what I want, live how I want to. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Here's the thing. Curt deserves his respect, but I also deserve my respect too. And taking on a guy like Curt, that's Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. I want to tell you that right now. That's Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. And taking on a guy like Curt, that would be the pinnacle of my wrestling career. Whether it be a pinnacle for his, that's another story. I can't speak for him. But boy, howdy, it's going to be a great show if it does happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon.
There you go.
Nightmare, listen, I don't know what's going on. I like Brandon Buck. He's always been a big a fan and supporter of the Wrestle Talk podcast. But I mean, Taker and Michaels? Come on, stop it.
I don't know.
Stop that.
Do you know one thing?
What? I like Brandon Buck. He's a good guy.
You know one thing.
What's that?
That's true, but I do know one thing. And this is about one of your favorite wrestlers, Jeff Jarrett.
Never drew a dime. Not a dime. Not a dime.
Wait, you're saying Brandon Buck never drew a dime? Oh, damn. Listen.
No, I said Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett? No. That timing is way too perfect. Joe, I know you're trying to be a nice guy here, but wait a minute. Did you recognize that drop, don't you? That's messed up. You know what? All kidding aside, Brandon Buck is a guy who is passionate. He's talented. The guy wants to be in professional wrestling more than anything in the whole wide world. And that's what Wrestle Talk is all about. Curt, I mean, we like to have a little bit of fun or whatever. Yeah. Brandon's a great guy, man. He came on the show, spent 35 minutes talking with us, and you know what? It was a fantastic show. And shout out to Tommy Snow. What's going on, man? Out there repping Central Kansas, baby. But anyway, man, thank you, Brandon, for calling in. And I don't know, maybe talk to the promoters in the area. I don't know. Would people pay to see Brandon Buck and the Suplex Cyclone?
I mean, I guess it could happen. I mean, you know, they might pay just to see me suplexing, but either way, they're still paying.
Well, you know what? Listen, I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate Brandon being part of the show tonight. And obviously, you know, it's been a really, really interesting first hour of the show. But you're still with us for another, 20, 25 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, man. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys a little bit of a break song, about a minute and a half, just enough for your boy to drain the main vein. And then we're going to come back with the world's greatest fantasy. What happened, Nightmare? Am I missing something?
Shouldn't we bring on Michael before we go on break? Because he's been on since like the beginning of the show.
Oh, damn it. Didn't I just said that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I suck at this sometimes, guys. I apologize. Of course, man. Let's bring on Michael, man. Representing Minnesota, baby. #1 fan up in the north, doing big things. Huge fan of Danny Duggan, but also a huge fan of the Suplex Cyclone Curt Gannon. Michael, we apologize. We didn't mean to forget about what really was all my fault. Just blame me. But you are on live right now with Curt Gannon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I just got a question for Curt Gannon. Okay, well, you know, we have our conversations on Facebook, but I gotta bring up your new wrestling gear. Who made your wrestling gear, dude?
It's pretty fresh, bro. It's pretty fresh.
It's actually a local wrestling company, a mat wrestling company. It's in Kansas City. It's Blue Chip Wrestling. I believe it's
Blue Chip.
Yeah.
I'm googling that right now.
Yeah, they make some pretty sweet stuff. So yeah, that's actually where I got my gear from, and then I got it tailored to have the Taz look, I guess you can say. But yeah, that's where I got it from. So.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I addressed it to you, and I told Rene this numerous of times that I love the gear, you know. I love the gear, and
well, Mike, I gotta ask this question.
Yeah.
All right, you said something about Curt Gannon's booty. Okay, what the hell was that all about? What were you talking about?
Hey, Rene, I'm just telling it like it is.
Oh, shit.
If Curt Gannon is such a badass.
Hey, your girl's gonna be mad, bro.
She's gonna be laughing just watching this.
You know? It's like, come on, dude.
Bro,
like,
you said Curt Gannon had junk in the trunk. What the hell is that? Oh my goodness!
I guess you know we just.
Yeah. I don't even know what to
say.
Hey, look, we do two things very well. We're here every single week, no matter what, snow, rain, or shine, and we create pretty awkward moments. It's just kind of our thing here, so just grow accustomed to that. Right, Joe? Aren't we experts at awkward moments?
Oh, yeah. I know,
yes.
I know, man. I listen to your show every week.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh, dear God, I can't anymore.
Awesome.
Michael, do you have another question for Curt Gannon?
Yes, I do. Actually, I got one more before I let you guys go.
Awesome.
Hey, when are you gonna come up into my neck of the woods?
Gotta get you back up north, bro.
You know,
Call Danny Duggan.
Man, wrestling, you know, they try great shows, and when are you gonna come in my neck of the woods? You have to go to soda.
So basically this year, I've got a few places lined up that I'm really going to start traveling a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota is definitely still one of them. You know, I've mentioned in the past that there's a few promotions up there I am very interested in. And there's even some stuff up towards Chicago and Milwaukee and those areas that I'm very interested in and talking to and trying to get my way up there. So hopefully sometime this year I will be back up very close and, you know.
Hey, look, Michael, I'm going to give you some advice, bro. It's not that challenging, okay? You go ahead and jump on the Twitter machine and you at Danny Duggan. And you tell Danny Duggan that next time he comes to Minnesota, CWE, shout out to CWE, next time that he is in town, he needs to make sure he calls this man so he can make the trip up north and be a part of the show, right? Does that make sense? Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. All right, Michael. Well, hey, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for always supporting the Wrestle Talk podcast. You have any closing thoughts before you get out of here?
That's about it. That's about it, Rene.
All right. Well, hey, listen, we always love you coming on, Michael. You obviously, we're big fans of you, man, and we can't wait to hear from you again. You take it easy tonight, all right?
Yep, you take care.
Dude, Mike is over. I mean, he's over, bro. No matter where he goes, bro.
I think it's an ass comment, you know.
I still don't get that. I'm not really sure where the hell that came from. Well, listen, Joe, is it cool? Can we go to break now? Because I know we got to come back with the world's greatest fantasy wrestling group, the FWWC.
Yes, we can go to break. That's fine.
Boom, let's do it, man.
What?
Hit it for like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, baby. Hit the jams.
All right, here we go.
What the hell happened to the music?
There it is. He's having some trouble loading the song earlier, so I don't know how he's playing it.
So what? So we're on break. Do what the fuck we want. I got a problem, bro. Like I open one of these and then eventually like it runs out. I don't know what the hell. And then I have to open another one. It's pretty frustrating. My life's tough, right? No first world problems.
Like at the end, do you care if I pitch some stuff out real quick?
Dude, that's like, yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
That's like that like last 10 minutes. Usually, well, once the show goes podcast format, it usually comes
Hey, wrestling fans, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat talking at you, and you're listening to the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is now time for the greatest fantasy wrestling chapter in the world segment, the FWWC. Oh my goodness, we have so much that we could talk about in so little amount of time. Would you not agree, Night Owl?
Dude, absolutely. Let me tell you something, Nightmare Jones. As excited as I am to be sitting next to the Suplex Cyclone, man, I'm just as excited because we are getting into one of my very favorite segments of every single show. That's right, that's the FWWC segment, the fantasy wrestling segment. And usually, man, the phone lines are on fire during this segment because we've got superstars from the FWWC, the Fantasy Wrestling Worldwide chapter, who always got a bone to pick either with me or with you or with each other. There's always some sort of drama going on. So let's go ahead and kick it off. and bring on the first caller tonight and see what the hell they got going on and what's on their minds tonight.
Awesome. The first caller tonight is a man that's called in multiple times. The one, the only, Tank Westbrook. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on, Night Owl? What's going on, Nightmare? How you doing?
We're doing good.
Awesome.
How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Hey, I just want to give you something real quick. What the hell? I did not hear a shoot and shout tonight. What's going on?
No, we did not have time for a shoot and shout. I mean, did you have something for a shoot and shout?
Oh, I got a shoot and shout every day in the world, brother.
You always bitching about something, Tank. So why don't you go ahead, bro?
Well, here's my shoot and shout. You know, when men and women get divorced, the men get fucked over left and fucking right.
Damn.
That's my shoot and shout.
I'm not going to argue. I've never been divorced. You ever been divorced?
No.
No, we're going to go ahead and take your word for it, Tank. You sound like a man that knows what he's talking about.
Oh, trust me, I know what's going on. But no, I just want to call in and say, you know, with the FWWC draft that just happened recently, luckily I got drafted by Artie Murphy, who is the general manager of Team Red. And I'm just going to let you all know, as a member of Team Red, I'm going to make that brand amazing.
Well, Tank, before you go, I got a quick question for you. You know, you can make some noise and say that the red brand is going to beat the blue brand, but as far as I understand, you guys are already down 1 point when it comes to the scorecard. So what are your thoughts on that?
You know, everybody, we are 1 point down. We are. That's okay. But it's nothing that we can't overcome. Look, give you an example. I want to say, 2 years ago, when Cleveland was down 0-3 against Golden State Warriors, look what happened. They made a miraculous comeback.
Well, the question is, all right, you know what? That's a great point, but the question is there a LeBron on Team Red to bring you guys back from being 1 point down?
You're talking to him.
Oh, damn. All right, bro. Listen, I'm not going to argue with you. You're the Tank. You are the former Intercontinental Championship. I'm just a fan. But listen, we appreciate you calling in tonight, man. Did you have any closing thoughts before you get out of here tonight?
Anybody that is on Team Red, let's go out there. Let's show Team Blue what they are missing with us being on Team Red and not on Team Blue.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. Nightmare, I know the phone lines are absolutely out of control, man. Is there any way for us to get a Team Red member on the show tonight to see if they have maybe some opposing words for Tank? And you know what? I'm looking at the screen. I believe we have Kronos the Titan of Time on the line right now, and he is a legit representative of Team Blue. So let's go ahead and bring him on and see what he's got to say in response to Tank Westbrook.
Well, time. What is?
I'm great. You know why I'm great? Because I'm on the best team that there could be, and because I'm going to make sure it stays that way. See, the fans love us. If you notice that vote that happened earlier today, guess who came out in the lead? Team Blue. Then you know who else loves us? BOD went ahead and did another competition, and guess who's in the lead? Team Blue. So I can look at Mr. I don't know, Brock Brown wannabe. I guess
damn.
He could be LeBron James, but ain't nobody can beat Michael Jordan. So I mean, catch up, move up, do something.
No doubt. Well, Kronos, we look forward to seeing you back in competition. We got quite a few callers on the line tonight, man. Anything else you want to say before you get out of here tonight?
you know what? I'm just excited about how the FWWC has been doing. I enjoy Wrestle Talk podcast with Joe and Rene and the Spider Assassins themselves, the Suplex Machete. Gotta love it. Hey, much love to everybody. Hope y'all having a great night.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, but before we go on to the next caller, Joe, I actually want to throw to Curt Gannon here. First and foremost, I think you have an announcement to make in regards to the Spider Assassin moniker, right? So why don't you go ahead and clear the air about that?
Yeah, it was a nickname that's kind of dubbed upon me a while back, and someone's kind of moving away from, so I mean, it's not a huge deal, but but
your fans want to know.
Yeah, it's just something that I just don't really use that much anymore, but I do appreciate that the people that remember it.
They remember it. I thought it was a good one, but hey, the Suplex Cyclone is better.
Yeah, that one's been dubbed on me, and I mean it goes with everything I do. So I suplex everybody.
It sounds like Joe likes it too, right?
Yeah, 100 pounds, 500 pounds, I suplex them all, man.
Absolutely, suplex everybody. And one last thing that I wanted to ask you. You at one point were an active member of the FWWC. I know that when you and I were talking, you said, hey, you know what? I kind of dig this. It's a great way for me to exercise my promo muscle. Mm-hmm. And obviously it helped because here you are live in front of, currently we got 15, 16 people watching live, but by the end of the week, we'll have close to 1,000 people that have listened to the show, which we're very, very proud of. 27 different countries like we talked about earlier. So maybe talk about that a little bit. I mean, is there enough practice that happens with wrestlers? I mean, you can only do so much in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
And so the FWC gives people a platform to not only be able to work that muscle out, but to do it against other people. So can you speak on that just briefly?
Yeah. It was something that I think did help me practice a little bit. It was kind of fun just to come in here and cut some promos, and
that was you guys cut some dope promos, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you do get the practice talking and doing promos at training, and there are a lot of guys that the best thing to do is just cut that promo looking in the mirror, though. There's been times I've been driving down the road and I'm cutting promos and people are looking over like, who the hell is this guy?
What's wrong with this guy?
Who's he talking to? So.
That's right. Well, and we both know that really the best decision you ever made was when you were in the FWC. You joined the La Familia Worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, that goes without saying. But that's neither here nor there. Now, with that said, Nightmare, I know we got a couple other people on the line, sir. Why don't we go ahead and try to bring them on? I see, Tank and Kronos are still hanging on. We've got Corbin Slater, Battle Cat, and an unknown person you know what? You know who that is? That's Big Daddy P, and we're going to get to him in just a moment. But I believe it is time, Nightmare, to bring on the man representing the jungle of South Florida, the Battle Cat.
Awesome. Now, before we do that, I do want to make one statement.
Well, hey, it's your show, bro. Do what you do.
The Blue brand would have been great, would have been amazing if Corbin Slater had made the right choice and brought in the Trucking Nightmares instead of the Untouchables. Just putting that out there.
Throwing shade at your fellow La Familia brethren, Nightmare Jones? You sure you want to do that, bro?
I'm throwing shade at Corbin Slater. He should have brought me and Jimbo Slice onto the Blue brand, but he screwed up, and now we're on the Red brand, and now you know what's going to happen. But anyways, let's go ahead and bring on the man, the myth,
I have no control of this.
The Battle Cat. What's going on?
Oh, here we go. Dear
God. What's up?
What's up, Battle Cat? What's going on with you, man? How's the weather down in the jungle, bro?
A little bit chilly, but you know what? I deal with that every day. So
chilly in the jungle? What jungle are you in, bro? The concrete jungle? How the hell is it chilly in the jungle? What the?
It's the Everglades, partner. The Everglades. The big guy. I
don't understand. Carry on, Battle Cat.
But before Joel talking about how him and Big Papa Kurt should have got picked over Untouchables, let me tell you, how about y'all take y'all team and y'all challenge Team Blue's team and see who's better. And I guarantee you Untouchables will whoop Trucking Nightmares' asses.
Sure. That's what you think. You go right ahead, my friend.
But anyway, I want to talk about last night because, at Luchador, like I said, every needle has a haystack, and he just happened to find a needle in the haystack and got lucky, and I let him walk out of the jungle alive. So I don't want him to go thinking that he's all hot shit and he's better than me. Hey, he caught me on the off night. It happens in this business. It's a win, lose, or draw. I get that. So, no excuses. He got me last night, but, he won't do it again. I guarantee you that will never happen again.
Well, there you go. Battle Cat, I got to ask you this question because we got to get through at least 2 more callers before we get to Big Daddy P. The Untouchables. The Untouchables versus the Misfits. La Familia's very own were the ones that brought the Misfits to, I guess, the end. Do you have any thoughts about that situation?
Let me tell you, man, sometimes, you can have the best tag team, but you have to have the right partner. And I thought, over the last year, I thought I had the right partner. But come to find out, it was just holding me down the whole time, man. And I was thinking that, but I didn't want to be too sure on it. But after Sunday, then, that told me everything. And then I had to do what I had to do after we lost.
So you blame your partner for the loss, and instead of handling it like a man, you attack him like a punk bitch. Is that what you're saying that you decided to do?
Hey, my career as a singles competitor is way better than it was when me and him tagged together, man.
Oh, dear goodness. All right, Battle Cat. Well, listen, we respect your thoughts, even though we absolutely disagree. Do you have any closing thoughts before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, Team Blue all the way.
Team Blue, Team Blue. Speaking of which, Nightmare Jones, we have one more caller in the FWWC segment before we get to Big Daddy P, and then we close it out with the Spider Assassin and do our Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. And that is the general manager of the team that currently leads the head-to-head brand war, and that is the GM of Team Blue, none other than Corbin Slater.
Now, before we bring him on, there is one thing I wanted to say.
What's that?
Everybody knows one thing about Battle Cat, and that's it.
Never drew a dime. Not a dime. Not a dime.
Not a dime. Oh, my. Well, Facebook seems to be calling him Battle, I don't know, do you want to say that? Battle Pussy. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. You know what? A lot of disrespect to the former 2-time United States champion, former 2-time Intercontinental champion, but hey, it is what it is. The Wrestle Talk family, the FWWC, they're very much entitled to their opinion. And it sounds like the Spider Assassin, we're not using that anymore. See? Ha! Ha! We're not using that anymore. The Suplex Cyclone is just waiting for somebody to get out of line. So, boom! Lights out. But with that said, we do have Corbin Slater. You are live on the Wrestle Talk Podcast, my friend. Welcome back.
No problem, no problem. You also forgot to mention former FHC champion Battle Cat, but,
Why are you nitpicking me, Corbin? Why are you nitpicking me?
Are we talking to the man that Richard Priest retired?
Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why he's being bitter. Okay, fair enough.
Can of worms.
Fair enough. That's why you're being a bitter Betty. That's okay.
I was told that every time that Corbin Slater comes on, I'm supposed to mention that he's the man that Richard Priest retired. He pays me good money to do that.
And you're the man. See, and you're the man that I decided to pick Richard Priest over. So that just puts you two in the same, doesn't it?
Wow. Nightmare, I don't understand. Nightmare, you work for this man. You might want to measure your words a little bit. Listen, let's stop interrupting him. Let's let the general manager of Team Blue say his piece.
See, I was going to say that, Team Blue is starting off strong. Already up 2-1. Yeah, it's only a point, but it's going to be way more come Monday, come Tuesday, come Royal Rumble, because Team Blue is not going to stop. I even have some news to share with all of you. A little bit of breaking news. If you want to hit that drop for me, that'd be amazing.
Hey, give me a second, bro. We'll find that thing for you. Boom. There it is.
So some big news. Not only is the F8C tournament underway, and we already have 3 people that have advanced to the second round. That'd be Kronos, who is just on your show, Luchador de KC, who actually beat his former brother Battle Cat last night as well to move on, and then 2 of your brothers, Nightmare Jones, Mayhem, and Heel Deal faced off, and Heel Deal moved on to round 2 there. But this is not where it stops, because see, the losers still get a second chance. So Team Blue, it's all about opportunities. So if you don't quite make it through the tournament for the F8C, we're going to have 2 huge triple threat matches. The winners of those matches are going to face off against each other, and the winner is going to face Addison Atticus at Royal Rumble for the Legends title.
Oh, damn. Team Blue doing it big, doing it real big. My question is where does Nightmare Jones fall in all this?
I'm not on
Nightmare
Team Blue.
Jones is on Team Red because, see, I picked his brother, or so-called brother, they always go back and forth with each other, Richard Priest, the F8C champion, and the F8C, or FWWC tag team champions. I picked him over Nightmare Jones.
Well, that's what I'm asking you, Corbin. Why would you have picked the Untouchables over Trucking Nightmares when clearly, even though he's been a bit disrespectful tonight, you seem to have a huge amount of respect for Nightmare Jones, but not so much for Richard Priest or Julius Cairo?
I can tell you guys think about it. By bringing in Richard Priest, he gets the FWWC tag team titles and the FWWC heavyweight championship. That's why he did it.
Are you chasing gold, Corbin Slater? Is that what it is? Are you chasing gold?
I am not chasing gold. I am clearly just doing what's best for business, which clearly has worked out for the better.
He's not chasing gold, but yet he has the Warriors Hall Championship, the Legends Championship, and the FWWC on his team. Come on now, that's like the 3 top tags. That's like the 3 top titles. How can you say he's not chasing gold? But I'm done.
All right, Nightmare, calm down. You can't take this stuff personally. It is just business. I have one last quick question for you, Corbin, before we let you go and move on to Big Daddy P, and then we close out the show with the Suplex Cyclone Curt Gannon. Corbin, you also drafted the number 1 person in the FWWC draft, and I'm talking about the Warriors Heart champion. I know it was probably a easy decision for you, but what does it mean to you to have the Warriors Heart champion on the Blue brand?
It means everything. That title is what made me who I am today, because I helped the FWWC, and the FWWC helped me through everything, the universe, the fans, because of that Warriors Heart Championship. That Warriors Heart Championship literally means everything to the chapter. It means everything to me.
All right, Corbin. Well, listen, we appreciate your honesty and we appreciate the intensity. Obviously, Team Blue already off to a great start. A lot of people have made the argument that Team Blue won the draft, and then obviously in our very first opportunity to compete yesterday during SmackDown Live, Team Blue came out on top just slightly, but came out on top nonetheless. We appreciate you being on the show tonight, man. You have a great night.
Hey, no problem. Team Blue is going to dominate from here on out. Mark my words.
All right. Awesome stuff. All right. Well, Kurt, we want to thank you for continuing to hang on with us. We're going to get through Snippets of Truth with Big Daddy P, and then we're going right back to you for a few more minutes as we try to close out this show. Nightmare Jones, intern Timmy, go ahead and hit that music, baby, because it is time for Snippets of Truth with Big Daddy P. Big Daddy P, you're on live on the Wrestle Talk podcast with the Suplex Cyclone, the Night Owl, and Nightmare Jones. What's up tonight, man? How's Tennessee treating you?
Ho, ho, ho. Tennessee is treating me pretty well. I've actually had a pretty chill day and just trying to get a lot of work done before the Christmas season kicks in. You know how it is being a dad and all. You gotta get everything ready, and so I'm in the process of doing that. I'm chilled today, man.
Well, that's great to hear, Big Daddy P. For those who are tuning in for the very first time tonight, we want to thank you for doing that. Please share, please rate, please comment. That means everything to us. But Big Daddy P has been a part of the show for 2 years now. Snippets of Truth. Big Daddy P joins us to take your prayer requests. Obviously, we all go through daily life. We tune into the Wrestle Talk podcast to have a great time, but that doesn't alleviate us from the reality of life. We all have challenges, we all have struggles, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual, or financial. And so Big Daddy P, in his few minutes here on the show every week, he tries to petition the Creator for all of us on our behalf. And so you guys are all encouraged. You can do it publicly, you can do it privately. Big Daddy P will take your prayer requests and petition on your behalf. Big Daddy P, I have one prayer request that came in here just a few minutes ago, and that is from our boy Anthony in Kansas City, owner and marketing director for Heart of the Hustle Clothing. Anthony, who just lost his dad this evening. And then yesterday, I got a prayer request from Drew, whose brother was having, it was borderline attempting to commit suicide. So obviously, as much fun as we like to have on the show, we like to have a few cold beers and have some laughs. But ultimately, life is very, very real, and there's only one person that can help us resolve these issues, and that is the great Creator himself. So Big Daddy P, the floor is yours.
Well, first of all, problems are guaranteed. Stress is optional. There will never come a time within your life that you'll be without problems. No matter what your financial situation, no matter what your health situation is, again, problems are guaranteed, but stress is optional. You know, we live in a world filled with people that are focusing on themselves. And one of the things that Big Daddy P and you guys always do is, you know, you make it about others. And I think that's why you have this show, because it's all about others. And so I just want to encourage anybody listening right now that if this is a tough time of year for you, then we're going to add you to our prayers tonight, because Christmas time, there are a lot of people that lose hope. And our responsibility as lights of this world is to provide joy and peace to those that need it. And so right now we will petition heaven on behalf of these prayer requests. And what was the first name again?
Anthony just lost his father, and our buddy Drew.
Anthony, yep.
And our buddy Drew, his brother was admitted to the hospital for attempting to commit suicide.
Okay. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this time to come before you this evening. Father, you know the situation regarding Anthony and Drew. Father, you know about each and every request that's been made on their behalf so far regarding these two situations. And Father, there are those that are listening right now also that are in need of to hear from you. And so, Father, we know that it does us no good to be silent, but you say, come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give them rest. And there are also, Father, those that are listening right now that don't know who you are. They don't understand the personal relationship that you offer to them as a gift. We know that your word says that you so love the world that you gave. And the fact that you gave
people don't understand why we even celebrate Christmas. A lot of people think it has to do with baby Jesus, and it does in one form, but it also needs to be understood that it says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And it says in verse 14, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. The name Emmanuel, which is one of the original names of Jesus, Father, meant God with us. And we know that when you came out of your realm and came down to earth in the form of flesh through baby Jesus, we know that, Father, that you did not want to come in contact with sin, but knew the only way that this problem with sin could be cured is by a sacrifice. And so you came down in the form of flesh, were on this earth 33 years, and died on the cross with us in mind. And so, Father, I thank you for the work that you did that gives me the ability to apply just a mustard seed of faith, that by believing in that work, that I would have eternal life with you. The Bible says, believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and you will be saved. The fact of the matter is the moment you believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Messiah, the one sent, and you recognize the fact that he substituted himself on your behalf, by believing in that work, eternal life is yours. So no matter what happens on this earth, no matter what situations that you might be struggling with, you can always find your answer in God. And so I just thank you so much for this time, and I pray for my brothers and those that have to travel to be with their family this week. I can never thank you enough for all that you bring to my family, all that you do for us. Even we have a loss this year, Father, but we know that even with that loss, you're still going to bring much joy and happiness into our home. And the only reason why you give that to us, Father, is because we ask. So I just pray, Lord, that whoever's listening right now, if they're without peace, without hope, without eternal life, that they would trust in you today. I thank you so much for the greatest gift that you can ever give, the gift of eternal life with you, even after we do our time on this earth. I pray for peace and joy for those that are listening, and I thank you so much for all that you give us, and the fact that we can come on this show and laugh and have a good time, and we just thank you so much, and we love you. And we ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Big Daddy P. One last question for you, Big Daddy P.
What a gift. Hey.
Fantastic.
What a
year.
gift, huh?
Absolutely. Big Daddy P, just real quick before you go, Painter's Dream, Wrestle Talk, teaming up, man. Tell me, Wrestle Talk Podcast, brand new website coming up in 2018, right? Can people expect some awesome big-time stuff, right? I know you're working. So if you guys need a website, Painter's Dream Productions is the place to be. Big Daddy P's doing that. One last final question, man. What do you think about the All-Women's Royal Rumble, Big Daddy P? Are you excited about that?
Oh yes, I love history, dude. Anytime someone they're not being boring, you know. Paige came back with a vengeance, which was great. I'm still waiting to hear ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Look in my eyes. What do you see?
He's right here behind us. What do you CM Punk's been hanging out with us the whole night. Where you been, Big Daddy P? He's sitting back here wearing the he's right here.
Awesome, dude.
Did you see him? He's right there.
Idea.
All right, Big Daddy P.
Listen, I got a really special surprise today. I was working today, and I canceled my teaching tonight because of my work schedule. Next thing I know, my daughter calls me and says, "Hey, Dad, I want to come over." I said, "Okay." So I got to have some dinner with my baby, and she's chilling here now going, "What is Daddy doing?" But I know she can't keep her eyes off that Christmas tree over there with all those gifts under there. God has been very faithful. So, gentlemen, enjoy your holiday season. Merry Christmas. Thank you for having me on. And I'm grateful that we can take this time to stop and to give reverence to the one who deserves it most of all.
No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Daddy P, reminding us that there's always a reason to be grateful during this time of year, no matter how challenging things are. Nightmare, I know you're a big fan of Big Daddy P, right?
Now, hold on. Now, hold on. Since Rene failed miserably last week on his Starcade trivia question. I have a question for you, sir, based upon our small little test of snippets for truth tonight. Problems are guaranteed, but stress is what?
Optional.
You did it! Nightmare Jones, give him an award. Give him some special sound.
I would.
You guys are so brutal, man.
So his music, if he can win tonight's Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge, which is about Star Wars.
Oh, man, this is some bull crap. Bro, do you know anything about Star Wars?
A little bit.
I don't know nothing about Star Wars. Real quick, before we move on, we've been doing the Purge segment, the Mints of Truth segment, for a long time. You, forgive me if I'm, crossing the line here, but you have a very special young lady in your life, right? I mean, a young little one.
Yeah.
And so this season is probably going to be extra special for you. So I'm guessing that's probably one of the things that you're grateful for. I mean, you got a wonderful lady in your life, but you also have a beautiful and young little lady as well in your life. So I'm guessing that's probably something you're pretty grateful for, right?
Oh yeah. They're both my biggest supporters, and everything I do is for them, and even pursuing wrestling is all it's all for them. So yeah, they're everything to me. So
yeah, that's awesome. It's funny because we had a guy come on one time, like he was on hold waiting to come on as be a guest, and he's like, what? He's like, what are y'all doing? He's like, I thought this was a wrestling podcast, and he's like, what are you guys doing this prayer thing? What did I just walk into? And then I explained to him, I said, look, man, everybody doesn't share our belief. I said, but you should try to do what we do, and we respect everyone's belief. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is our show.
Yeah.
So kiss my ass. We do what the hell we want to do. And at the same time, bro, ultimately it's a little selfish, but I mean, I'm just trying to build up some brownie points, So, obviously we've had a great show so far. We haven't had anything goofy or weird happen. We've had a bunch of great callers. Everybody's been real positive today, and it looks like, that we're going to continue that until we see you in the ring.
Is Joe okay over there?
What? I recognize that music. What the hell is that music?
Wrestle Talk.
Oh, shit.
Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Oh,
It is
my
your
God.
WF Heavyweight Champion, Rick Maverick.
Oh, dear goodness. Why do you always have to call in? This is probably one of the best shows we've done in 2017, and you gotta ruin it, don't you, Rick Maverick? Nobody invited you. You're not even scheduled to be on the show today. What the hell are you doing here?
Well, Rene, Night Out, you brought something up earlier when the franchise was on.
Dear God.
And that was that GWF show on the guy who was there at the end. But you failed to mention the man that walked out with the title.
Allow me to interrupt you, Senor Maverick, because that's what you're really good at doing to us. Kurt, I'm sure you have a recollection of that evening. You did not walk away the GWF champion, but there was a reason why, right? Do you care to share that with the listeners here tonight?
Yeah. If I do recall, what happened that night was Rick hit in the back, and Justin sent his little goons out to basically attack me.
The tag team.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And Rick came out and just tried to capitalize on it, and unfortunately he did, but it was...
The match didn't even really...
Yeah. If you had
the bell rung, they attacked you. He hit the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
He didn't really do anything.
Yeah. You had their tag team holding me down the whole time. So
I remember that. I was there. Maverick, I know you're going to try to pull the wool over everybody's eyes here on the Wrestle Talk podcast with Joe and Rene, but I was there and I saw everything that happened. So what do you have to say for yourself, man? How can you even carry around that championship with any level of pride or integrity?
President Justin made that match a no DQ match, anything goes. So I took advantage and let anything go.
Wow. Well, that's very interesting. And here's what I also find interesting. It's been like since 6 months since there's been a GWF show. So, like, you're walking around with that championship and you haven't even had to defend it, Maverick. So what are you so freaking proud of?
Well, actually, I brought that belt back home to the Southwest. I know the Wrestle Talk podcast doesn't usually come on around this area, but I defended around the Southwest area. 27
countries. Did you not hear that part of the show? 27 countries?
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
He must be in the middle of
But
nowhere.
I do have word from President Justin that Rick Maverick will be returning to that second-rate city known as Kansas City here shortly.
Wait a minute, bro. You disrespecting our city, bro? You heard what you just said about KC?
Oh, yeah.
You said second rate? Where are you even from, Maverick? Aren't you from bumfuck Arizona?
Yeah, but here's one thing about Arizona. My Diamondbacks have a winning record against them Yankees who beat up your Royals every time.
Oh, you mean the 2015 World Series champion Kansas City Royals? Oh, that's right. I know. That's who you're talking about.
Got him! Got him!
So let's get down to the nitty-gritty here, Rick Maverick. Are you putting your title on the line against this man with the 20-plus inch pythons ready to suplex you in any town, any place, anytime? Or are you just going to keep running your freaking trap?
I will take on any man that thinks he can get in the ring with me because it's all about knuckling up and putting them down.
I'll tell you what, Maverick, next time we're in the ring, make sure Justin keeps your boys in the back. It'll just be you and me, and I guarantee it'll end a whole lot differently. And it'll end with either a knockout or a chokeout.
Hey, well, can you suplex him through the mat for us?
Oh, I can.
Like, break the ring?
Yeah.
You know, like Strowman and Show, like, boom. Can you do that for us?
We'll definitely keep doing it over and over again until it happens.
And then we'll do this again, and you'll, like, be on the show with the belt over your shoulder?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
You can wear that same collar and elbow, because I know you're sponsored. By the way, Maverick, who are you sponsored by?
I lost my sponsorship. I don't want to talk about that right now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Now, I want to take a second and be serious here for a second. I know I missed Reverend Big Daddy P, but next week, is there any way I can get put on the prayer list for next week?
Okay, I don't know how much of this is serious, but go ahead.
I just want Big Daddy P to say an extra special prayer for Curt Gannon so the next time we meet, his career is ended when I'm done with him.
Oh, dear God. Somebody, get this man off the line. We only got a couple of minutes left with the Suplex Cyclone. We got to waste time with freaking Rick Maverick, who hasn't defended his championship since 1972. And we got to listen to this guy talk trash. Nightmare, how the hell do these people keep cutting into the show? I don't understand what the hell's going on.
No, I don't know. Before we get into the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge, we do have one final caller for the Curt Gannon. Kenneth, you are live on the Wrestle Talk Podcast. What is your question for Curt Gannon?
Hey, Joe. Hey, Rene. Hey, Kurt. How you guys doing?
Yo, what up, Kenny?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm actually calling in out of character tonight. It's a little different for me.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what, Massacre, which is, I know your alias, in the FWC, our Legends champion. It's always an honor and a pleasure, man. But what is up with you tonight, man?
Actually, I was calling in to just say something to Curt Gannon. I actually met him when I came out there to Kansas City for Universe Mania. Met him at the NWL Kansas City show. Awesome guy, awesome experience. Loved meeting you in person. But on the FWWC tonight, we do a thing called the Final Thoughts. And actually this week I used a quote of yours because when I read it, it kind of hit home for me. It kind of helped me out through some stuff. Rene knows I've gone through a lot of personal stuff over the past year. And if it's okay, I'd actually like to read the quote here tonight as well, if that's okay.
Well, the thing is, Kenny, it's not up to us. It's to the members of the Wrestle Talk family. Let's see what they think about that. Yeah. So, it sounds like the Wrestle Talk family is good with it, man. Go on ahead, Kenny.
All right, cool. The quote that was used in my final thought is simply, when it seems like the world is against you and you're fighting from the bottom to survive, hold your head high, keep your eyes on the prize, and suplex the world. When I read that, it actually kind of helped me out, kind of relieve a little pressure off of me, because I realized that even if I'm sitting at the bottom of my life where I think I'm at, I still need to reach for everything. I got 2 little girls that I'm sitting at home just busting my ass every single day at work for, and then my family, you know, I'm proud to have them. I just like to say that quote kind of helped me move past some of the little roadblocks that I had in front of me that I wasn't able to look past. And once I read that, I was like, damn, no, he's right. Just keep my eyes on that end goal. And I appreciate that. I wanted to share that with everybody in the FWWC and here on the Wrestle Talk podcast.
Yeah, and dude, that's awesome. That's
you're inspiring people, bro.
Yeah, they hear that.
Where are you calling in from, by the way, Kenny?
Troy, Missouri.
All the way on the other side of the state, bro.
Yeah,
You like that?
Yeah, Kenny, I'm glad I helped, man. Yeah, definitely. You know, we all have to go through a lot of, you know, roadblocks and, you know, crappy times. But just like I said, keep your head up, keep pushing forward. You'll be good, brother.
No doubt, Kenny. Thank you for calling in. Wow, bro, you inspiring people. Did you even know you inspired somebody with that? Did anybody else hit you up and say anything?
No. Well, I was hoping that was kind of the case, but
it worked. I'm telling you, man. The Wrestle Talk family in full effect, man. I'm telling you right now. All right, Namir Jones, I'm done with the pleasantries. We just said prayers. Everybody's being nice. I'm ready to step in the ring with, I mean, not literally, the Wrestle Talk Game Show Challenge ring with this man right here, man. You set me up with this Star Wars nonsense. I already know it's a loss waiting to happen, but you know what? I'm not scared. Let's do it, baby. Wrestle Talk Game Show Challenge starts right now. Let's do it. I always lose, bro. I'm like on a 12-match losing streak or some shit. It's crazy. Like Savio Vega beating me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. I am your host with the most, Nightmare Jones. Tonight we have the Cyclone Suplex Curt Gannon, and the Night Out. And, well, you know what? Since it is close to Christmas, this is going to be wrestlers that were born on Christmas or around Christmas.
How the hell am I supposed to know that? What? No, go with Star Wars. I got no idea. No, hey, but before we start, I got to ask you a question. What do you think about Lucy Mendez? Wait. I asked Curt Gannon a question. Before we get started, let me ask you a question. What do you think about Lucy Mendez?
Who?
Never mind. Go ahead, Joe. Go right ahead.
So I'm going to give 3 clues. All you have to do is shout out the answer, and whoever you think that the answer is, you shout it out, and if you shout it out and it's correct, you get a point. We're going to play to 3 points, and whoever gets the most points wins.
So best out of 3.
Sounds pretty simple, right?
Okay, shout out the answer. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. We're ready.
All right. This first gentleman was born on December 25th, 1985. He is managed by the ravishing Russian
Rusev.
His slogan is Rusev would be.
Boom, baby! I'm a huge Lana fan. What you trying to say, bro? Because I'm a Rusev fan?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hey, Joe. Wait a minute.
Oh, about Rusev Day, man.
Dude, I'm not a Rusev fan, bro. I am a Lana fan, bro. I'm not lying to you.
Kind of goes hand in hand.
I mean, she is.
It's Rusev Day. It's
Okay, I can't go that way. Aiden English is a beast. All right. Go ahead. Next question.
All right. Number two. This next gentleman was born December 27th, 1966. He wrestled for WCW, had a huge unbeaten streak. He's known for the spear.
Goldberg.
Goldberg would be correct.
Damn, bro.
They had one.
What a mental block, son. Lano would definitely get it. Let me. Can I like that?
Your final one.
All right, so showdown time. Let's go. We got 1 minute, Joe. Let's go.
He was born December 23rd, 1974. He wrestled for WCW. He has a famous last name. His nickname is The Juice.
O.J. Simpson? O.J. Simpson?
Juventud Guerrera?
No.
Hoovy?
Juventud Guerrera.
Yeah.
Hoovy.
What? What? What?
That means...
Man, you know I ain't watching no WCW, man. What you set me up again, man? This some bull crap right here, bro. Every damn show, I swear, bro. 13 shows.
I do have another question just to see if you would have gotten this one right.
All right.
Another superstar was part of DX. It's a female.
China. Like, it's the only girl in DX. It doesn't matter. I still lost, man. This is some bullshit. Man, you know what, bro? I'm sick and tired of you, man. You know what, bro? Give this man his victory music. He deserves it. Oh, Jesus. Bro, I can't win these challenges. They're killing me.
All I do is
They ask me WCW questions. I'm like, dude, I don't know nothing about that. This is some bullshit.
Every time I step up in the field,
No, those what I grew up on, man. WCW.
Yeah. You know what? Let me say this right now, Nightmare. I gotta say it. Every single week, you and Luke Roberts, Wrestle Talk Family, I don't know what it is. You guys like set me up. You guys like screwing me over. You guys like seeing me in a position where I can't succeed. I have to hear this bull crap every single week. All right, enough shenanigans. Oh God! Also the Crybaby song. Damn. You know what? Yeah, very funny. Well, let me just tell you two things. Number one, this is nothing short of
fucking bullshit.
And number two, Kurt, tell the people where they can see you in action next.
Well, I got some stuff coming up with SICW. Still waiting on their future or their dates with their shows coming up. New Breed is definitely, they got dates that are all set up, and you have to forgive me because
you got a lot going on 2018, bro. I know you do.
I've got a book full of dates, and I can't even keep track of any of them in my head, but I do have quite a few dates with New Breed Wrestling coming up. I'm actually trying, it's nothing set in stone yet, but I'm working on going to Wrestling Revolver, which, everybody out there listening, if you can do me the favor and just go get on Twitter and tell them at Wrestling Revolver that you want to see Curt Gannon out there. There's an open invite match with Matt Palmer and for his title, his Scramble title, and Matt's all on board getting me on, and they just want to hear some talk from some fans. So anything you guys can throw out there, definitely.
Real quick, guys. New Breed Wrestling on Facebook. There is an open vote going on right now for Wrestler of the Year. Your boy, the Suplex Cyclone Curt Gannon, is only a couple of votes behind Curtis Wilde. Let's make this man the New Breed Wrestling Wrestler of the Year. Get your asses on Facebook. Go over to New Breed Wrestling. Go ahead and vote for the Suplex Cyclone Curt Gannon, because there's no doubt in my mind he deserves to be the New Breed Wrestling Wrestler of the Year, especially over some bum like Curtis Wild that's always cheating. Him and Wildfire always pulling some sort of shenanigans and tomfoolery. So listen, guys, at Suplex The World on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. He ain't hard to find. We ain't hard to find. It's right here at Wrestle Talk Cast. That's what we do every single week. And you know what? We got a little bit. Do we got that Santa Claus song, Nightmare, so we can close out the show, man? Do we have that song on deck for tonight?
Actually, no. That song did not want to download.
Did you not? Man, you know what, man? I'm about to take a vacation or something because Wrestle Talk screwing your boy over every single week. Hey, at least Curt Gannon, at least me and him are cool because as far as Wrestle Talk goes, man, I keep getting the short end of the stick. March 24th, New Breed Wrestling. Thank you, Josh. We love you. We thank you for everything that you do. And the fans are asking, can you sing us your favorite Christmas carol to close out the show?
I'm not a singer at all.
Come on, you got to show some versatility, man. Come on. What do you got for us, man? Go ahead.
I'm supposed to be a badass, not a singer.
Yeah, but even a badass can sing, right? Stone Cold and The Rock had a song. Go ahead. Good. All right. 3, 2, 1. Take it away.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin
Lady, Batmobile lost the wheel.
The Joker got away.
Hey, jingle bells. Rick Maverick smells. We are out of here, y'all. Wrestle Talk Podcast. Nightmare Jones, the Night Owl, and the man that is suplexing the world, Curt Gannon, at Suplex The World, baby. It's time to close it on out. Nightmare, close us out with a good song, man. We are out of here, baby. Yes. Boom. Shout out to the Buffet Club. We are out. There, he got my song. He got my song. Yeah. All right, everybody that stayed with us on Facebook Live, shout out. Thank you, guys. Jay Hollywood, Josh, everybody else, man. We really appreciate it. Before you guys go, man, do us a favor, man. Share this broadcast. And don't forget, shout out to Curt Gannon for coming in and sticking out the whole 2 hours right here with your boy, the Night Owl and Nightmare Jones. We're out, man. Any final thoughts?
No, just everybody have an awesome Christmas and love all you fans, all the friends, everybody watching this. You all are awesome. If it wasn't for you all, I wouldn't be able to do all this. So thank you.
No doubt. Hey, we are out of here, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. Peace.